If you are someone who was bullied in school, perhaps you had at least one emotionally unavailable parent, perhaps you struggled with confidence, speaking on a stage terrifies you, but it is something that you know you probably want to do one day. Maybe you've struggled with setting boundaries, people pleasing, being underpaid for what you do, feeling undervalued, or just knowing that the things you have planned for your life are so big, so audacious, so dreamy, and where you are at right now just isn't it. And it is not your fault. You've simply never been shown how to bridge the gap from being shy and insecure to confident and successful. So these are my 9 simple rules that I followed to go from having very low self-worth, really not liking who I am, constantly partying, drinking, burying my emotions in food and binge eating, not feeling confident in my own skin, not ever wanting to wear a bikini, not ever feeling sexy or feminine, to now wearing whatever I want, feeling I have the ability and the security and the self-trust and the self-worth to be able to put myself out here on camera and feel cringe and feel the fear and do it anyway. I'm so confident inside and out, and it has been such a journey. When I first started in entrepreneurship, I was honestly the most nervous wreck of a person. I just constantly self-sabotaged. And to be where I am today, running multiple successful businesses, being confident to show off online, having a dream life, my dream home with my dream partner and our beautiful baby girl, feeling so secure in this relationship. Whereas in the past, I'd always have these really short-term relationships and be ghosted a lot. And I really, really struggled in dating just because I was so insecure. And I want you to be able to learn from all of my mistakes so you don't have to go through everything I went through. So these are my 9 simple rules for going from shy and insecure to secure and successful. Number 1, boundaries. And don't let boundaries just be a buzzword that you use with your partner whenever he pisses you off. Okay. Boundaries have to be at the forefront of every single one of your decisions, because boundaries are about protecting your peace. Boundaries are about protecting your energy and saying no when you really mean no. I used to struggle so much with people pleasing. I used to say, yeah, I got it. It's fine. I got it. No worries. I'll handle it. I was the girl who could handle it all. My reward in my corporate life for doing a really good job was getting handed more work, because I was just the safe pair of hands. I could put out all the fires, and it was always to my own detriment, because I was always the first one in the office, the last one to leave, the one silently dying on the inside. Like, I used to go to work just in tears and come home in tears and just take on way too much. And then on the weekends, I'd have poor boundaries with my friendships and the guys I was dating. And I had no life force energy. Like, if you look at pictures of me, I'll put some pictures up on the screen of me in my 20s. You can see a girl who was not taking care of herself, who was just worn thin. I was overweight. I've struggled with acne on and off my whole life. And thank God I feel like I've cleared the acne, and I really mastered the skin game finally. I think boundaries used to just be a buzzword that I used to hear, and I never really knew how to set them. And I had no idea how bad of a people pleaser I was. And I had no idea that you could simply stop being a people pleaser and actually set boundaries, and no one's going to die. The way you learn to set boundaries is when you realize that you cannot be the person responsible for somebody else's reaction. So if you say no to someone, if they have a negative reaction to you saying no, that is not your reaction to hold. The reason you probably feel like it is because in childhood, you probably had no autonomy. Like me, I was never allowed to make decisions for myself or say yes or no. God bless my mother, rest in peace. She was a single mom raising 3 kids. She was on minimum wage. Times were tough. I never really got the things that I wanted to get. My brother had very severe ADHD, autism, so everything was always his way and walking on eggshells around him, that I was just like the middle child that could handle it all, right? I was the one they didn't have to worry about. I was a peacekeeper. My primary school teacher told my mum that she thought I was going to be a nun. Like that is how, of like when I was literally 5 years old, like that is how small I kept myself and how much I was trying to people please and be the good girl and be the nice girl to keep myself safe, to keep everybody liking me and loving me, because I didn't have that love from my father, and I that love from my mum was very rare because she was very focused on my brother. So all those childhood patterns were showing up in my adult life to my own detriment. And there is so much inner childhood trauma healing you can do when it comes to healing those parts of you that came online in your childhood. But the very first practice you can put in place is simply setting boundaries and simply saying, you know what? No, I'm not available. I don't have the energy. I'm simply too tired. I'm focusing on other things. You don't even have to give an excuse. You don't even have to explain. You can simply say, no, I am just not available. And watch what happens. Watch how things in your life suddenly start to become about you rather than your husband, your kids, your work, your boss, your friends, and taking that energy back and pouring it back into yourself. The way your confidence will grow when you learn that saying no does not mean people will die or everything's going to fall apart or you're going to lose control over a certain situation. You're actually going to have more time and more energy to pour back into your beautiful self. And that's what so much of this is about. It's simply about learning how to love yourself because you were never taught this in childhood. It's not your fault. 2, find a fitness activity that you love, stick to it, and book in classes for really early in the morning. I like to go to classes at 5 a.m. So I'm waking up in the 4s, right, to get ready to go to that class. The reason I do that is I am a mum and I run 2 businesses and I need more time in the day. Obviously, I'm trying to bend time and reality and play with this concept of time at the moment so I can have more time for myself and the things I love to do. But also being one of the first people awake in the morning, it gives you like a superior complex, right? You feel like you have a little edge over those other people that slept in that day because you feel like you're a little bit ahead. And Adam, what's his name? Hormozy speaks about this, saying to be successful, you have to have a little bit of a superiority complex. And I feel like that's what I get from doing a 5 a.m. class. Call it ego, call it what you will. But when we're talking about going from confident and secure, there's a really big part in saying you're going to do something that stretches you and actually doing it and following through with it. And I think especially when you're a mum, because you can come up with those excuses of, oh, the kids went to bed late last night, or, you know, we had to wait, or there's just too many things to do in the morning. I feel like if you accept a class that you have to go to, it's not just going to the gym. I have a gym membership as well. And do you think I am ever at the gym at 5 a.m. in the morning? No, because no one is there watching me clock in. There's no start time that I have to make it to at the gym. Whereas if I'm booking in for a class, the girls are there waiting for me. And there's got to be an empty reformer bed if I don't show up that morning. So I have skin in the game, right? There's meaning behind that 5 a.m. class. So not only is it just about the early wake up, it's also about what exercising does for you. So in my 20s, when I was that sad, overweight version of myself that had no self-love, I also just wasn't exercising. And there is so much science about how important exercise is for your brain health, for your heart health, for your overall just body, mind, spirit. Just working out and seeing your body change, the confidence that comes with that, and the way that you want to then nourish your body with good foods because you worked out that day, or you're working out in the morning and you don't want to erase that hard work that you did. There is just so much that goes into the power of exercise and finding something that you really, really love doing. It is the best way to transform yourself. And maybe for you, that's boxing or rowing or swimming or running or I don't know what it is, but find a group that you can do that activity with, or at least one other person, so you are held accountable. Number 3, cut the nice girl act. This shows up like saying, hey doll, just checking in. Hey angels, just jumping on today to say how grateful I am. Or maybe it looks like starting your landing page with saying, hey, beautiful soul, are you ready to unlearn the patterns holding you back and set free and go on a journey in my container? All these nice girl language and mannerisms that we're using, that we were taught this, and me as the example, I was literally, my teachers thought I was going to be a nun when I was older. That's how much that nice girl mentality is ingrained in me. It is so hard to strip back all of those little people pleasing things you say that actually lose your power so much. When you learn to speak more directly, more matter of fact, less like you're trying to suck up to somebody. And I can only say this because I have literally been in this position myself. The more you use those like angel and babe and darling and beautiful soul, or that language, it actually makes you seem fake. It actually does the opposite of what you were trying to do. You're trying to build trust. You're trying to build rapport when you're using those words. But the way it's often received is like, why is she being so nice to me? She's never even met me. Why is she using this language? It can also sound condescending sometimes, right? You know, especially like if a guy was to use all those words, like if you met a guy that was serving you in a shop and he would say, hi, beautiful soul, you know, like you would be so creeped out by that, right? And I know there's difference when like women call each other women, like, you know, I call my friends babe and girl, and, you know, I still use like all those words, but when you're using them in an email or a landing page, it doesn't actually seem genuine, and you lose your power by using those words. And if you want to become the hottest, most fierce, most audacious, most confident, secure version of yourself, it's time you start acting like you are the authority. You are the one in charge. And if someone's landing on your landing page, don't make yourself small and seem like an inconvenience, or like, oh, can I just steal your time for 5 minutes to tell you about my new offer? Like, just cut it. Just cut the nice girl act and bring the power back to yourself. Stop the people pleasing, set the boundaries, and bring the confidence back into yourself. And that is about having self-trust. Another way that I do this, and I'm really trying to work on it as well, is the overuse of exclamation marks. Like, thanks so much, and like 3 exclamation marks and like 3 kisses. Like, no, just thank you so much. It's all you need to say. Number 4 is do the healing work. You are not exempt from doing the healing work, doing the subconscious resetting to succeed. You're not exempt from it. That you don't need another marketing strategy. You actually need to address the childhood trauma and the childhood wounds that are holding you back from doing the things that you said you were going to do, from showing up on camera, from creating that offer, from launching that new podcast, that YouTube video. There are things that are so deep in your subconscious that are holding you back. And until you really address them, until you start to question yourself and have more self-awareness, and you don't even have to like invest in a big, you know, inner childhood trauma healing or womb healing or life coaching course or anything like that to start doing this work. You can simply start by getting curious with your thoughts, getting curious with, why didn't I do that thing I said I was going to do? Number 5 is stop using ChatGPT or Claude for everything. You need to be able to unleash your creativity if you want to be a confident, happy, free-spirited, liberated woman. You need to be able to think for yourself. You need to be able to articulate your ideas and think of your own concepts and speak in your own voice if you want to be influential, if you want to be seen as confident and as an authority. And if you want to just feel happy and lit up, then as a woman, as a feminine, fully embodied in her creativity, you need to spend that time working things out, problem solving and being creative, and I'm catching myself on this too, because I have been a very heavy user of AI, especially in our financial business. I don't understand a lot of the concepts in financial advising and mortgage broking. I don't. I'm a marketer. I am a coach. I am really into personal development. When it comes to the finance space, I am a beginner, a novice. I'm not an expert level by any means, but there's a difference there because I'm not trying to be seen as a confident, authority, creative person in that role. In that role, I'm trying to be efficient. I'm trying to get things done. I'm trying to produce at speed and scale. So there's a time and a place for AI. With my personal brand, my personal development, my marketing teachings, do you think this podcast would have anywhere near the amount of potency it has if I had have just gotten ChatGPT to write me something and I was just reading off a script? No. And I feel like we can all tell these days when people have written their script from ChatGPT and they're simply reading it out loud, and it just makes you roll your eyes and scroll past. And it's not building any confidence muscles. Confidence is developed through competence, through taking the time to really learn your craft and hone in on your skills and become a master of that thing that you want to do. I woke up early this morning to do this, and then halfway between the episode, my daughter woke up and I had to go to ready for daycare and do breakfast and all those things. And now I've actually got a 9:30 meeting and it is 9:11 and I have to go into the office for it. But I'm I want to do this so bad that I am making the time for it because I have poured my creative soul into it. And this is my passion. When you find that thing that you're so passionate about, please don't poison it with AI because it's going to take the life and soul out of it. So stop using ChatGPT for fucking everything and have more self-trust. It might take longer, but it is just way more beneficial in the long run. All right, just looking at my notes. And that really leads in actually to what this is point number 6, what point number 6 is about. And it is find what you are passionate about and follow it. Because the chances are that somewhere in your childhood, you were not able to just simply follow your passions. Maybe your parents chose what sports you were in, what you did. You had to arrange it around your siblings' schedules as well. You had to, maybe you didn't fit in school, any of the subjects at school. I personally did not thrive in any subjects at school until, I used to love religion because I went to a Catholic primary school. Not that I'm Catholic now, but I loved the values and the emotional side of it and learning about the concepts like forgiveness. Religion was the only subject I felt like I actually felt safe in school. And then I did not do well in anything. I was terrible at sports. I was last in all the cross country and sports days. Swimming, forget about it. Could not swim to save my life. Math, no. I just struggled to focus on anything because I have ADHD, which was undiagnosed. And I just did not think I was good at anything. I didn't understand the concept of needing to practice something to become good at it. So, in my 20s, when I had freedom to do what I wanted to do, I had no passions because I didn't know myself, because I didn't give myself time to explore them. And my childhood was so chaotic and I was told I was bad at things. And and no one ever gave me a chance, right? So I got to my adult life and I was like, who the fuck am I? Like, what the fuck are my passions? And the only other subject at school other than religion that I was good at was business management, right? So when I got to my 30s or late 20s and I finally started living for me, it's just no coincidence that the thing I really found myself in was business management. I actually was good at journalism as well, and that's kind of what led me here as well. I went to a very creative school in year 11 and 12. Anyway, I digress. Finding your passions and actually giving yourself permission to do them, because as a mum, it can be so hard to just follow your passions and do what you love to do. Like for me, I love to do self-care and get my hair done and my nails done and look on Pinterest and go shopping. And I haven't fully owned that ever until like 3 weeks ago. I was like, you know what? I actually really am passionate about just going shopping by myself. And if people think I'm vague or vain for doing that, I don't care. Like it genuinely is the things that makes me happy. My daughter is almost 3 and I'm finally giving myself permission to really just do my passions and do what lights me up. And this is one of them as well. Creating videos for YouTube is genuinely just a passion of mine. I wouldn't have figured out this whole tech thing if I wasn't passionate about it. So find your passion and get curious about it and just dive deep into it and just see what happens. Who cares if there's no real purpose to it? Like if it makes you happy, just keep following your passion and opportunities will arise from that. We have one life. One life. Do you want to spend this life just like being an auditor or like crunching numbers for somebody else? Like, girl, life is too short. So follow your passions. Number 7 is see a naturopath or a functional nutritionist, get your blood work done, find what nutrients, minerals, vitamins, find the things you are lacking in and have a plan to replenish them. Because sometimes you're not insecure, you're not anxious, you're not angry, you're just depleted. And it actually takes the real healing work of getting diagnosed, having a proper practitioner look at your results and your tests, because a doctor looks at completely different measurements and different numbers than a naturopath or a nutritionist would. I really, really believe in going the natural route first. I'm not against the medical system whatsoever. I believe that God works through medicine and whatever you need to do to heal, like you do you. But I genuinely believe going on a natural health and gut healing protocol to heal whatever it is you're going through. Like for me, it was SIBO and then acne and then postpartum anxiety, depression, depletion, all those things, right? Fixing what's on the inside is going to fix so many things on the outside. Like if you struggle with ADHD, if you struggle with fighting with your partner, if you struggle with keeping your cool or just, being nervous, like heal your gut and everything will fall into place around that. I can personally attest to that. If you need recommendations, please just comment and I can send you a few really amazing women that can help you. It is 100% worth the investment. You might not think there's an ROI, but trust me, there is an ROI on investing in your health. Number 8, realize your own divinity. Realize your power to create anything in this world. You are God expressing itself in human form. Do you know what a miracle it is to be alive? Like, I think it's like a 1 in 7 trillion chance of you actually being alive here on this earth today. Anyone on the planet at any given moment could die tomorrow. Anyone, really. If you think about it, there is a chance you could die tomorrow, or anyone could. So how would you live today if you thought that it was your last day on earth? Would you sweat the small stuff? Would you regret not going after your dreams? I'm really into learning about afterlife and near-death experiences and what happens when we die? Is everything happening by coincidence? I don't think anything happens by coincidence, but I mean, is everything divinely planned, divinely orchestrated? Is everything just simply laid out for us? Or do we have complete free will? I love exploring those concepts. Is everything predetermined? And one thing I've learned is that a lot of people that have a near-death experience and do come back to Earth, they say that Like they're given a life review at the end of their life. And apparently you feel quite neutral to it. Like you don't feel shame, you don't feel like you're proud of yourself, like it just is, right? But for me, since learning that, I'm like, oh my God, like, you know what? This thing in the back of my mind is that I'm going to have a life review when I die, and I'm not going to be happy with all the choices I've made or the way I just sat back and did nothing, the way I just let life happen to me. You like, if you really think about having a life review at the end of your life, I don't want to feel any kind of regret or like I should have done more or I could have been better or I wish I just had have just been more consistent or been more disciplined or shown up a little bit more. I just can't live with that. So here I am right now doing this. And just know that when you decide you want better for yourself, the universe conspires in your favor. Realize your own divinity, realize the power you have over your own life, and realize the amazing positive impact you can make on other people. And live as if you are the son or daughter of God, because you are. Number 9, and this is super important, and I want to talk so much more about this on this channel, is to master the art of detachment. The most confident, courageous, brave, attractive, magnetic people I know are the most detached. They don't care what other things people might say about them. They don't care about looking cringe. They don't care if they've had no sales and no one's buying their shit, and like they just aren't letting it get to them because they're on a bigger mission and they're detaching from all of the little small things along the way. They're also detaching from needing anyone or anything to validate them because they're happy in their own frame. And you know what's so funny about when you do detach, when you surrender, when you allow things to just be, and when you choose yourself and you choose your own highest and greatest God-given path, not letting that small stuff get to you, that is when everything starts falling into place for you. The moment you decide to detach, the moment you stop gripping on so tightly to that thing that you want and you allow it to naturally happen in the way it's supposed to and letting it unfold instead of trying to control the exact outcome, the exact way it happens, and overthinking it and going to therapy about it and scrutinizing on it and, just chatting back and forth with AI about it and really trying to control an outcome and trying to predict the future and seeing the tarot card readers and the psychics and then the Reiki healers, rah, 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 rah. The moment you actually detach and you say, hey, you know what? I'm good either way. If this thing happens or it doesn't, if this relationship works out or it doesn't, if this money or the house or the business, like if it works out or it doesn't, I know I'm good because the way I'm living my life every single day is true to myself. I have a clean conscience. I am doing what's best for me. I am living in alignment with self-love and I'm practicing gratitude every single day. And if I just do those things, I know that nothing can really go that wrong for me. And I have to be in this present moment right now because all we have is the present moment. And if we don't just relish in this present moment right now, then we're going to look back on our life and realize that we just missed it because we were too attached, holding on to what might be in the future, rather than just detaching and living right here, right now, and being grateful and accepting and loving towards our beautiful selves and having compassion for our beautiful selves, right? The most off-putting people are the ones that are so detached. They're so attached. The ones that are so attached to the outcome, the ones that just need things to happen. They're so desperate. They're texting you all the time. They're trying to figure out the plans. They have so many questions. And, you're just like, oh my God, just chill out. Right? They're the people that things always just feel so hard for them because they ruminate in things rather than just letting it go. This is why the Mel Robbins let them theory has really, really taken off because people really resonate with it and it actually works. The power of detachment is so powerful and so magnetic and ironically will allow you to reach everything you want, have the confidence, the security, self-worth, if you learn to detach from what anyone thinks about you, from whatever might happen, and knowing you are good either way. And I really have to run to my next meeting now. We have a new starter today in our financial planning business. So I have a 9:30 with her to welcome her to the team, which is so exciting. And yeah, let me know what you thought of this episode. If you want any recommendations on anything, please comment. I am switching things up around here and want to make this more of a mindset community driven channel rather than so focused on marketing strategy. I think that the reason I've just not been consistent with this is because I'm not following my passion. I'm not doing the things that feel really, really aligned. And so now I'm experimenting with this type of format, which is more around the personal development, mindset, empowerment, feminine energy, yeah, detaching. So let's see where this lands. I'm really excited about it, and I will see you next time.